access card. Sorry, but I need this. How many paintings did they have this guy make? Damn it. That's not right.
You are now safe to resume working.
Estevez, come in. Facility. Sub-level 1. You copy?
No, turn back. Area is extremely hostile.
Successfully affecting reality, we always think of Alan Wake and his writing. This could be due to recency bias or simply the amount of recorded evidence skewing our opinion. But also, I wonder if writing's very nature is an advantage. Text can describe events in such explicit detail. The story gives the shadow blueprint, a map of what to make real. But not all art is like this. Music, sculpture, dance, cuisine, in our case, a painting. I think Diana will find the question very interesting. Most likely, she already has an answer. That's why I love her. I had a thought today, a possible avenue for further research. When we think of art successfully affecting reality, we always think of Alan Wake and his writing. This could be due to recency bias or simply the amount of recorded evidence skewing our opinion. But Also, I wonder if writing's very nature is an advantage. Text can describe events in such explicit detail. The story gives the shadow a, how you say, a blueprint, a map of what to make real. But not all art is like this. Music, sculpture, dance, cuisine. In our case, a painting. When the source material is open to interpretation, how will the shadow choose to interpret it? I think Diana will find the question very interesting. Most likely, she already has an answer. That's why I love her.
Darkness, trying to control the uncontrollable. It speaks to climate change, oppression, the disenfranchisement of immigrant minority populations.
This keycard won't get me in. My team was on sublevel 1. I knew they were in danger. The Marmonts turned innocent people into tools using the FBC's authority. They thought they were untouchable out here, hidden away in the woods? No. Actions have consequences. And I'm the consequences.
Sublevel 1.
Ah, you fucking bastard! Jules Marmont killed my team. He was taken by the Shadow. I should get that gun while I'm up here.
That name is not very scientific. I mean, I came up with that. Shadow.
This should get me down to sublevel 5. And this should get me past any other problems.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. The contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting and refracting. An urban legend and a murder in constant imbalance, cause and effect hopelessly entangled. Arranged wrong, the dream logic flawed. The feedback loop doubled and redoubled, out of control. The pressure kept building, looking for a release.
Blackrock powder. Need to keep an eye out for more of these. locks on these bastards.
There was a crack in the...
The Shadow had changed Jules Marmont into a hostile, paranatural entity. That made everything simpler. No arrest, no paperwork. I could put him down like the monster he was.
Mirror, please hold.
This is not level 4. The Marmonts were holding a painter here. Rudolph Lane. Does that ring a bell?
The shape of a man!
I think you are, or were, Rudolph Lane.
Himself! A self-portrait! Make them see!
Look, I might be able to help you. But I need information, cooperation.
No brush! Just himself!
Rudolph Lane was dying. Both murderer and victim. Red hues ran down his hands. Was it scarlet? Or cadmium? Too vivid to be maroon. Names don't matter, he decided. Color was pure. Inspiring. For the first time in years, he wanted to paint. A self-portrait. To say goodbye. No. To make them remember. To make them see what they did. He slapped his hands against the wall to steady himself. He began from there. No brush, just himself. The strokes were crude, violent. The pain, misery, and hate he'd endured there. The fire in his eyes and hands and bones all spread into the shape of a man. It was quick. Natural. Like a heart attack. He slumped down to the floor, smiling at the anger he left smeared across the wall.
Sublevel 4.
Diana sat in her office. A weak desk light kept the darkness around her at bay. The silence of the archive suited her. She scowled at a series of graphs when the room turned red. Alarms blared. Breach detected. Then the walls of the archives rumbled. A tremor in the bones of the facility. One by one, the red lights went dark as a wave of nothing poured in from all sides. Diana stood, but there was nowhere to run. The sheer depth of the darkness terrified her. She realized they had done this. Her and Jules. Their ambition. Their hatred. Her desk lamp flickered. In the brief moment before it all went dark, she thought of Jules' smile. house was underwater. The Marmont's ambitions had finally been realized. Jules had dangled the painting like a lure and hooked an ocean. Their machines couldn't hold it. A fault in the system. The water rushed in, filled it until it was ready to burst. All their successes and failures had led them here. The work had made them into monsters. But the lake house was still theirs. It always would be. They could feel an outsider trespassing in their labs. "I know you're here," they called out to the dark. They hunted floor by floor. They wouldn't let the intruders stop their progress. This was their home. Their beloved tomb beneath the waves.
60 breaths till the fear subsides. 60 breaths till I'm mine. 60 breaths, you can wait outside. And just like that, I arrive. I feel like I'm floating on air. I'm finding worlds everywhere. I feel like I'm floating on air. The nightmare can't have my dream. I feel like I'm floating on air.
September 13th, 2023. Notes regarding the concept of the tortured artist. A romanticized image of the sensitive artistic temperament, yes. But there may be truth in the cliche. It's no secret Rudolph Lane has been unhappy here for years. But the aggregate data shows his art's viability score trending upward over time. If Jules hadn't neglected to hold regular psychological exams, then we could have quantified the subject's emotional state, creating a sort of distress rating to compare against the art's score. I'll make this a sub-goal of my study of Edward Booker. Once we set the variables and establish a control reading of his art and mental state, then we can begin inducing negative emotion. Limited food and water, perhaps. An increasingly tight living space. This is how Jules lost his subject, though. We need to be careful not to leave any sharp objects in Booker's cell.